My beloved, as you stand at the edge of a horizon, dimmed by uncertainty, where the weight of unfinished roads burdens your steps, hear my voice piercing through the fog. I know the depths of your spirit, the places where hope flickers, where weariness whispers lies of failure, and where your heart feels fragmented by tasks abandoned or dreams deferred. This promise I carry to you is ancient and alive. I will finish what I started in you. Before you breathe your first breath, before your soul's deepest longings stirred, I set a plan in motion. It is not a fleeting design, but a relentless divine tapestry woven thread by thread, one that will not unravel nor fade. You may have walked through seasons of drought, wondering if your story ended with seeds sown but never blossomed. Some chapters have felt incomplete, the colors of your vision incomplete on the canvas of your life. Yet, my dear, understand that I am the master artist who never relinquishes a work midway. The brush I have placed in your hand moves with a purpose greater than you see. Each pause in your journey, every seemingly lost moment, is held tenderly by my hand. I am not a distant observer, but the steadfast keeper of your soul's unfolding. Where you feel broken, I mend. Where you see silence, I am still crafting the next note in a symphony only your heart can hear. This struggle of unfinished things is real, like a river that finds no ocean but keeps flowing, like a flame flickering under a storm's breath, yet still burning. I know it is exhausting, the weight of incompletion, the gnawing question of, will I ever be enough? Or is my purpose slipping away like sand through fingers? My child, I see you. I see the tears you do not shed, the prayers muted by doubt, and the battles you fight in the quiet. All of these are known to me, cherished even, for through them, my work continues, steadfast, relentless, and sure. You are not alone in this unfinished story. I walk alongside you, the unseen hand guiding each step toward fulfillment. Let this truth settle in you. The work begun by me will reach its divine completion. Do not shrink back or lose heart, for I have not forgotten you, nor forsaken the precious dreams planted within your spirit. The journey may feel long, the path unclear, the end obscured by unseen mists, yet I am at work beyond what your eyes can behold. Every pause, every delay, every moment of waiting is sacred soil where faith grows deep roots. Your story is not a series of scattered moments, but a continuous thread woven by my eternal hands. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away now. There is a sacred completion already ordained, and I am committed to bringing it forth in you. I call you now to rest in this promise, to breathe my peace when the unfinished weighs heavy, and to trust that I, who began a good work in you, will remain faithful until every part is whole and perfect. In the silence of your doubts, hear me. I am the author of your life. I do not abandon my stories before their destiny is fulfilled. Even when the chapters seem too difficult, when the mountain seems insurmountable, I am there, carrying you, healing the bruises of delay, nurturing the seed yet to bloom. You may not see it now, but I am weaving the ending into your beginning, the purpose into every trial, the victory into every struggle. This promise I enshrine in your heart. I will finish what I started. Let it be a mantle of courage around your shoulders, a light in your darkest moments, and a song of hope rising from your spirit. My child, if your soul yearns for assurance, take this moment to embrace the truth. My plans are unshakable. Will you believe me this time? My dear child, I see the shadow that lingers in your heart, the weight of quiet wounds that seem to drain your spirit, and the deep ache born from unmet hopes and whispered disappointments. You carry scars that no one else perceives, an internal landscape marked by storms you have endured in silence. I know the nights when your soul cries out, when the heaviness seems too vast to bear, and you wonder if anyone truly understands the depth of your struggle. Even in this solitude, remember, you are never alone, not for a moment. In the sacred stillness of your pain, I am present, closer than the breath that fills your lungs. My gaze rests tenderly on your bruised places, not in judgment, but with a heart brimming with relentless love. I'm the refuge, where your broken pieces can find their place to mend. Your sorrow is seen, your tears are collected, each one a precious drop in the ocean of my compassion. The wounds you carry are not a sign of your failure, they are marks along the road to deeper restoration. Let my infinite patience wash over your weary soul, calibrating the rhythm of healing that only I can bestow. You may have wrestled with feelings of unworthiness, sensing an invisible barrier between you and the fullness of life I desire for you. Yet, child, hear the truth I whisper now. You are designed with holy intention, fashioned by my hand, not for defeat, but for resilience. Within every falter lies the seed of renewed strength, and within every sigh, the echo of my enduring presence. There is no shadow so dark that it can eclipse the light I have placed within you. When despair presses down, lean not on your own frailty, but on the eternal foundation of my love. Sometimes correction comes not as a harsh word, but as a gentle nudge in the night, a subtle course adjustment that calls you back to my embrace. I do not withhold my discipline, for it is the balm that shapes you into the one whom I delight to call my beloved. This process may be uncomfortable, even painful at times, but trust that my purpose is to bring forth beauty from the ashes. The refining fire does not consume, but purifies. Allow me to speak softly to your wounded heart, coaxing it open with healing words and steadfast patience. Do not shrink back. Instead, lean into my touch and permit your soul to find restoration in my presence. Know that the silence you endure is not a sign of abandonment, but a sacred space where I am working unseen wonders in your life. In the absence of answers, I am cultivating your faith, maturing your trust, and deepening your intimacy with me. These quiet moments, though difficult, are fertile ground for spiritual growth. Hold fast to hope, for my timing is perfect, and I am never late. My dear child, I urge you now to release the burdens you were never meant to carry alone. Surrender these heavy weights into my hands and receive the peace that I freely give. Let this truth settle in you. You are held beyond measure, embraced beyond understanding. If your heart trembles under the weight of past mistakes or present uncertainties, bring them to me. Cast them like offerings on my altar, and feel the chains of guilt and shame dissolve in the light of my mercy. I'm the God who restores the broken, who beckons the weary to lay down their sorrows and rise anew. You are cherished more than you comprehend. Walk with me through this valley, trusting that every step is guided by a love that never fails. Will you remember this in your darkest hour? Will you receive my comfort and stand firm in the assurance of my unfailing presence? My beloved, when you find yourself burdened by guilt and shame, know that I see the weight you carry and I am ever near, tenderly watching over your heart's quietest moments. These feelings, though heavy and raw, were never meant to imprison you, but to lead you to a place of surrender, where my grace can freely pour in. Guilt can feel like a storm that never quiets, a ceaseless thunder demanding your attention, endlessly reminding you of your shortcomings and failures. Shame, on the other hand, is a shadow, cloaking your identity in darkness, convincing you that you're less than my beloved child, that you're unworthy of love or forgiveness. But my dear child, these are lies that I have torn apart through the sacrifice of my love, and it is through this very act that your soul is invited to step into healing light. Imagine a weary traveler, burdened with stones collected unwittingly from every rocky path. Each stone represents a misstep, a regret carved deep into the memory. This traveler might be tempted to believe they carry these stones because they deserve them, that the weight is a just reflection of their journey's failures. But I am the gentle wind, whispering across those stones, lifting them from tired hands. I am the quiet light warming the chill that guilt and shame embed in your bones. You do not bear these alone, nor do you bear them rightly. I invite you to release them into my hands, and in that act, you begin to feel the lightness of my mercy. Your value, beloved, is not measured by the mistakes you have made, nor by the regrets that linger in your heart. Your worth is inscribed in my very breath, woven into the fabric of your being, from the moment I created you. When shame ascends like a dark mist to cloud your view of yourself, I am the dawn breaking through, relentless and sure, illuminating truths that the shadows hide. There is no condemnation where my spirit dwells, only a fierce, unyielding love that calls you back to the joy of your true identity. Know that you are forgiven, wholly and completely, before you even ask, and that forgiveness is not a distant hope, but a present reality. I understand that forgiveness can feel like an elusive glacier, cold and immovable, too distant to ever reach. You may wonder if you can ever forgive yourself, if the echoes of past wounds can ever cease their echoing in your heart. But, beloved, forgiveness is not a mountain you must climb alone, nor a prize to earn. It is a river flowing from me directly into the depths of your soul. Let yourself be carried by its current. Let the water wash over the jagged fragments within. With each step toward accepting my forgiveness, you are healed, restored, renewed. This is not a fragile healing, but a restoration built on the rock of my steadfast love. I am mindful, too, of the silent voices within you, those whispers that speak of unworthiness and despair, that haunt your nights with reminders of your failures. I hear these voices, and I counter them with my own, louder and enduring. My presence in your life is not a fleeting shadow, but a steadfast pillar, unshakable and sure. When self-condemnation threatens to drown you, call to me. I will lift you from the depths and plant your feet firmly upon the ground. I am with you in every trembling, uncertain beat of your heart, waiting for you to reach out. Do not hide, my dear. In your vulnerability, you are drawing closer to the fullness of my healing. Look upon yourself as I see you, clothed in dignity and draped in the robe of righteousness I have offered you. Your past does not define you. It sets the stage for a greater transformation. Each tear you have shed, each prayer whispered in desperation, each moment you have felt broken and empty are threads in the tapestry I am weaving, a masterpiece of redemption and grace. Your story is still unfolding, my beloved, and I am the author who assures that even the darkest chapters yield to the dawn. There is no place too far, no shadow too deep, no wound too raw that my love cannot penetrate. You are constantly enveloped in my compassionate arms. I do not look away from your scars. Rather, I hold them gently, tenderly pressing upon them the balm of my spirit. This healing is a process, a sacred journey born not of hurried steps, but of surrender to my timing, to my gentle unfolding of your heart's restoration. Trust that I am at work within you, transforming every fragment of shame and guilt into glory and grace. My dear child, will you allow me today to begin the process of unburdening your soul? Will you let my love flood into the darkest corners, breaking down walls erected by your own fears and regrets? I invite you now to speak truth over yourself, that you are forgiven, beloved, and cherished beyond measure. Let this truth settle deep within your heart, becoming your firm foundation in moments when self-doubt tries to rise. Remember, the journey to forgiveness and freedom is not one of isolation, but one walked alongside me. Reach out to me whenever the past threatens to clutch again. I am patient, infinitely patient, ready to cradle your fragile heart and breathe resurrection life into your soul. I am the God who does not remember your sins once they are laid down before me. I have set them aside far as the heavens are high, to never be retrieved as accusations against you. Guilt and shame may have seemed to claim you, but in reality, they have been the summons to come closer, to discover the incredible depths of my mercy made visible through my presence in your life. I hold nothing back from you. My love pursues you relentlessly until your heart is free and your spirit soars in the liberty I bestow. Let this be the moment of your turning, when the chains of shame are broken and you rise in the power of my compassion. Embrace the freedom I offer. Believe in the beauty of your renewed self, the child of mine, whom I call worthy, beloved, and whole. My dear, will you believe me this time when I say that you are forgiven and that my grace covers you completely? Come to me, my dear child. Entrust your burden to me and find peace at last. My dear child, there are moments when the weight of guilt and shame presses so heavily upon your spirit that you may feel buried beneath it, unable to breathe, let alone move forward. I see this burden you carry, often hidden beneath layers of silence and self-condemnation. Yet, my beloved, I did not design you to be shackled by your past mistakes or the shadows of guilt you harbor. I first of all want you to understand that forgiveness is not a brittle gift, fragile and conditional. It is a wellspring of relentless, eternal grace that flows from my heart to yours. When you come to me, not with pride or defiance, but with a contrite and humbled spirit, you are met with an embrace wider and deeper than all the oceans combined. For I am the God who breathes life into the dead places of your soul, who forgives not as men do, but with a mercy that transcends comprehension and erases the stains that sin leaves behind. Know that guilt, though it may feel like a heavy chain wrapped tightly around your mind, is not meant to be your perpetual companion. It is a signal, a divine alarm that something within you recognizes as broken or amiss, a signpost directing you back to me, the source of healing and restoration. You might think that you must earn your pardon or prove worthiness by striving harder, but, child, listen closely. My forgiveness never hinges on your effort. It is a gift granted by my own nature, consistent and sure, as constant as the rising sun. Let the balm of my forgiveness seep into every crevice of your heart, washing away the debris of regret and self-reproach, so you can stand renewed, upright, and whole. Will you lay down that burden before me now? This mountain of self-condemnation should never define you. It is my redemptive power that defines you. You are not the sum of your errors, nor the echoes of moments when you faltered or failed. In my eyes, you are a beloved child, crafted with intention and purpose, fashioned in hope and destined for restoration. When the night of shame closes in, remember the dawn I promise, a new morning of mercy and new beginnings. It is in your humble admission of brokenness that my healing hand finds room to work. Do not cling to shame as if it completes you. Rather, open your hands in surrender and receive the healing only I can provide. I call you to embrace a freedom that has already been won for you, not a license to sin, but liberation from the chains of guilt that weigh down your soul. Rejoice in the knowledge that though your transgressions were many, my grace overflowed abundantly to cover them all. This grace is like a river, flowing endlessly, capable of washing clean the muddiest path, transforming desolation into fertile ground for new growth. Picture yourself standing at the edge of that river, my dear child, dipping your hands into those waters, feeling the warmth and peace that come from knowing you are fully forgiven and unconditionally loved. Let this truth settle into the marrow of your bones. I know you might wonder if your mistakes are too great, if the depth of your failures has severed the connection between us. Hear me now. No sin is too great, no heartbreak too profound, no past too dark to silence my voice or withdraw my love. I do not tally your shortcomings to build a list to condemn you, but to show you how thoroughly my mercy rescues and restores. When you wrestle with feelings of unworthiness, remind yourself that I chose you before you ever stumbled. I called you my own before you experienced shame. I am the God who relentlessly seeks the lost and carries them back into the fold with songs of joy. If your heart is stirring with the weight of guilt, do not turn away. Come, rest in my forgiveness and find the peace that passes all understanding. In your deepest moments of lament, when you feel so unworthy that silence becomes your refuge, I am there. My compassion will break through the strongest fortress of shame you have built around yourself. The road to restoration begins with confession, a sacred act that brings light into the darkness. Lay bare your soul before me, knowing that I do not come to condemn but to cleanse, to heal, and to redeem. The tears you shed are precious, a fragrant offering that softens my heart. Through this vulnerable honesty, new life springs forth. Trust me, beloved, even when the past whispers lies that you are hopeless. I am the one who makes all things new, who turns ashes to beauty and mourning into everlasting joy. Remember how the prodigal son found his way home through a repentant heart, and how the woman caught in shame was lifted up through a mercy that set her free. I tell you these things not to remind you of your failures, but to shine light on the unyielding grace that awaits you each time you turn to me. My forgiveness transforms. It does not merely pardon. It restores dignity, renews hope, and deepens intimacy with me. It creates a spring of joy within your soul. If there's any part of you that still clings to guilt as your identity, release it to me now. Allow yourself to be wrapped anew in the garment of righteousness, washed clean by the blood of love poured out for you. Let this moment be your turning point, a crossroad where you choose to leave behind the chains of guilt and step forward in the freedom I have secured. This is the invitation I extend to you today. Come as you are and be made whole. Place your trust in my mercy, for in that surrender you will find a strength greater than any you have known. I long to hear your voice rise in praise, not despite your past, but because of the grace I have poured upon it. Will you believe me this time when I say you are forgiven, that you are beloved, chosen, and cherished beyond measure? Know that your healing is already underway. As you open your heart to my forgiveness, I begin a work of restoration that will ripple through every area of your life. Pain will be transformed into purpose, wounds into wisdom, and brokenness into beauty. Do not rush this process, my dear, but rest in my perfect timing, trusting that I am shaping you into the image of divine grace. Hold on to this truth as a lifeline in moments when doubt threatens to overwhelm you. I am with you always, ready to lift you up and carry you home when you feel too weary to walk alone. In the stillness of your heart, when shame tries to whisper lies and condemn, speak back with the truth of my forgiveness and love. Let these truths rise up within you as a battle cry against the enemy of your soul. You're not defined by your failures, but by my fierce love for you. My dear child, open your hands and your heart to receive this grace anew, letting the floodwaters of forgiveness wash away every last trace of guilt. Stand firm in the knowledge that I have declared you blameless and free, because I have loved you from the beginning and will never stop. If your heart is stirring with the desire to walk in this freedom, to unwrap the layers of shame and live in the light of my mercy, then come to me now. Trust the courage I am placing within you to let go, to forgive yourself as I have forgiven you, and step into the fullness of life I have prepared. Feel my arms around you, strong and tender, lifting you out of the pit and setting your feet on solid ground. Let this truth settle in you. You're not alone. You're deeply loved and you are eternally forgiven. My dear child, in the stillness of your soul, I see the tremors of fear and the shadows of anxiety that seek to cloak your heart. These are not mere whispers of uncertainty. They are the echoes of wounds unhealed, of battles fought in silence, often unseen even by your own eyes. Fear, like a dense fog, can descend suddenly, wrapping around your mind and spirit, casting doubt on the path ahead, obscuring the light I have placed within and around you. Anxiety tightens its grip, telling stories of what-ifs and not-enoughs, making the very present feel like a storm without end. Yet, my beloved, these feelings, as heavy as they seem, are not the final truth of who you are or what I am doing within you. I am intimately familiar with fear and anxiety. I have walked with your ancestors through deserts of uncertainty and valleys shadowed by doubt. I do not abandon you in your moments of trembling. Rather, I draw you close, inviting you to rest in the shelter of my embrace. Your fears reveal the place where your soul aches for deeper trust, where the illusions of control dissolve and space opens for me to speak clearly and powerfully into your life. Remember, even in the darkest night, the stars above patiently wait to be seen, their steady light a reminder that the chaos around will not last. My presence is the anchor for your restless heart, and in me, you can find a peace that dismantles anxiety piece by piece. Understand this, beloved. Anxiety is not your condemnation, but a call to surrender. It is the soul's way of asking for my intervention, an invitation to cast your burdens upon me and find rest. The turmoil you experience is not a failure, but a threshold. One where your faith can grow, become resilient, and learn to trust not in worldly certainties, but in my unfailing love and sovereign care. There is no place too frightened, no moment too anxious, where I cannot bring forth a new dawn. When you feel lost beneath fear's weight, I am there as your steadfast companion, whispering courage and strength into your trembling heart. Do not rush away from your feelings as though they are enemies. Rather, bring them to me, lay them down at my feet. Each worry you carry is precious to me because it reveals your humanity and your need for grace. I am not distant or detached, I am near, ready to breathe calm into your storm and steady the shaking foundations inside you. Like a gentle shepherd who does not abandon the lamb shivering in the cold, I am watching over you, guiding you towards a place where fear is replaced by the overflowing assurance of my care. Fear and anxiety often seek to isolate you, to convince you that you're fighting a lonely battle. Yet I'm calling you into deeper intimacy, into the quiet confidence that you're never alone. In those moments when doubt creeps in, when the mind races ahead into imagined horrors, pause and seek me. My voice is a still, small whisper, an unshakable truth that you can return to again and again. Lean into this voice. Let it drown out the noise of your apprehension. You are my cherished child, held in a love that is stronger than any fear. There is also a beautiful paradox here, my dear. Fear and faith do not always live on opposite ends of the spectrum. Sometimes faith blooms precisely because fear has shaped the soil of your heart. When you bring your anxieties before me, you engage in a sacred act of trust. You acknowledge that you cannot face the unknown alone, that my presence is essential. And so fear can become the doorway to a deeper faith, a faith not dependent on circumstances, but on my unchanging nature. I am your refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. When anxiety roars like a stormy sea, hear the promise of my quiet power beneath the waves. I invite you now, beloved, to a renewed courage, to step forward each day, not in the absence of fear, but in the unwavering decision to trust my hand, holding yours. No matter how fierce the shadows in your mind, the light I've placed in you is far greater and will never be extinguished. When your heart is overwhelmed, reach out to me, not with demands or impatience, but with the simple honesty of a child who knows they are loved beyond measure. I'm with you in your trembling and will transform your anxiety into a fountain of hope. Close your eyes and picture a mighty oak, its roots tangled deep beneath the earth, stable, enduring, and unmovable despite the storms that rage above. This is the strength I offer you, rooted in my eternal love. Your soul can withstand the winds of fear and the floods of anxiety. The trials you endure are shaping you into a vessel of my peace and resilience. You are not defined by the anxiety that seeks to claim your joy, but by the love that steadies every beat of your heart. If your spirit wrestles with fear today, bring that struggle to me. Do not hold it back. Share your worries, your trembling thoughts, your restless nights. I am ready to meet you, patient, kind, and relentlessly faithful. Let this truth settle in you. You are not forgotten, you are not forsaken, and you are held by a power greater than any fear or doubt. Will you believe me this time? Will you invite me to walk with you as we face the unknown together? In your next breath, in the quiet of your heart, reach out trustingly. Know that my peace, which surpasses all understanding, eagerly waits to guard your heart and mind. You are mine, and nothing can separate you from my love, not even the fiercest storm of fear. Hold fast to me, dear one. Let me quiet your mind and calm your soul until the sound of anxiety fades away, replaced by the melody of my promises. I am your refuge, your shelter, your unshakable hope. Bring your fears to me and I will carry them. This is my promise to you. You will not face these moments alone. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Draw near to me and let us exchange your fear for the peace only I can give. My dear, you have journeyed far through reflections of fear, anxiety, and doubt. Now, I invite you to rest within the sanctity of my timing. In this place of divine pacing, there exists a profound grace that your hurried heart often cannot perceive. See, I am not bound by clocks or calendars, nor do I scurry in anxious haste. Each moment is woven with a purpose only I can perceive, a tapestry of your life, crafted one thread at a time, perfectly synchronized with the rhythm of eternity. When you feel the silence surrounding your prayers, the delay in answers, or the pause in progress, know it is not an absence, but a presence. My unseen hand, arranging what you cannot yet behold. The stillness is fertile ground, my beloved, where the seeds of patience are planted and nurtured. What appears as waiting is actually working from my side, moving mountains gently, as a master sculptor slowly reveals the form within the stone. Trust this process, for hastening will only blur the masterpiece I am creating. I understand the ache that unfolds when your desires tremble at the edge of faith, desperate for fulfillment. It is natural to reach for certainty, to grasp for signs or outcomes. Yet I tell you, the greatest expression of faith flourishes not in instant gratification, but in steadfast waiting. Like a seed buried in the dark earth, you cannot see the growth, yet life stirs beneath the surface and an unseen miracle is unfolding. Let this truth settle in you. Your waiting is not wasted. It is an integral part of your transformation. In your quiet moments, I am with you, closer than the breath you take, more constant than the beating of your heart. This is my promise to you in seasons of silence. You are never alone, though the world and your dreams may seem distant. Even when the sun hides behind clouds and the night lingers longer than comfort allows, my presence is the lantern that refuses to be extinguished. Lean in. Feel the warmth of my nearness, like an embrace, wrapped around every fear and doubt. Consider the rivers that run deep beneath the still surface. Though silent, they are vibrant with life, carving canyons and shaping landscapes over time. Your life is such a river, shaped by my divine design through the currents of waiting. I'm patient with your pace because love does not rush. Love endures, perseveres, and waits. As you submit to this divine tempo, your soul learns the sacred rhythm of trust, a melody that sings peace amidst uncertainty. Reflect on the seasons of nature, the winter's cold that seems harsh and unyielding, yet beneath the frost lies the promise of rebirth. The barren branches hold the potential of lush blossoms. The earth's seeming dormancy is a time of preparation. So it is with your life, my dear child. Even when it seems as if nothing grows, know that I am working through the quiet depths, shaping your character, refining your spirit. This silent season is a crucible of strength. Waiting is not passive, it is an active surrender. It is the choosing to relinquish control, to trust that my ultimate plan far surpasses momentary desires. It is a dynamic obedience that calls you to stand firm, rather than to flee in frustration. I see your struggle, yet I also see your resilience when you choose to remain in faith's embrace. Your surrender is not defeat, but a holy victory, the courage to trust beyond sight, beyond feeling, beyond human understanding. Fear whispers lies in the waiting, convincing you of delay, abandonment, or failure. Do not yield to these deceits, for they steal peace like thieves in the night. Instead, anchor yourself in my faithfulness, which is as unshakable as the mountains. I have never failed you, and I never will. Your heart's aching questions are invited into my presence. Lay them at my feet and find rest there. I receive every sigh, every tear, and turn them into pearls of wisdom and grace. Embrace this sacred waiting, for it teaches you to lean into my voice rather than the clamor of your own anxieties. It is here you learn to hear me, sometimes a whisper, other times a roar, calling you not toward the easy path, but the life abundant in my truth. Healing, provision, and breakthrough come in their appointed time, orchestrated by my perfect love and eternal wisdom. Your role is to remain steady, alert, and expectant, like a watchman on the wall prepared to see dawn. Let this time of waiting deepen your intimacy with me. Use these moments to draw near, to cultivate a heart tuned to my spirit. Communicate without urgency, listen without impatience, and rest without fear. Your faith is transformed from seeking immediate answers to embracing my presence as the answer itself. Will you believe me this time that waiting is a sacred dialogue between your soul and mine, where transformation blossoms unseen but deeply felt? Your destiny is not delayed, but matured in this divine timeline. As the potter molds the clay with patience and care, so do I shape your path. Yield your impatience, your doubt, your frustration to me. I will carry what burdens you cannot bear, and will shower you with grace when the hour is ripe for all that you have hoped and prayed for. Trust this. There is a beauty in the wait that only the patient eye can witness, a glory in the delay, woven by a loving hand. May the peace that surpasses understanding guard your heart in this season. Remember, from where you stand, the journey may seem long and arduous, but I, who know the end from the beginning, walk beside you every step. You're cradled in my eternal arms, held by a love that bends time itself to bring forth my best for you. In this sacred pause, your spirit grows strong, your hope is restored, your faith is refined. Let this divine timing carry you forward, for all things come in their appointed hour, crafted with my undying love. If your heart is stirring within now, do not turn away, but rest in this truth. I am orchestrating every detail of your story. You are treasured, You are known, and though you may not see it yet, the dawn of new mercies is breaking. Remain expectant, remain watchful, and watch how I, your God, will make a way where you see no path. Your loving Father invites you to trust deeply and wait with hope. My dear child, I have watched you wrestle with those silent storms within your heart, the battles with fear, anxiety, and doubt that often feel like shadows creeping just beyond your sight. These are not mere fleeting moments of weakness, but profound places where your spirit is tested, stretched, and invited to grow in trust and courage. I see the trembles that shake your soul when uncertainty threatens to overwhelm you, the quiet whispers of fear that say you are alone or forgotten. Yet, in these very moments, I am there, holding you closer than you can imagine, the unseen hand steadying yours when you cannot steady yourself. Do you understand how deeply I desire for you to step into the light of my presence and find peace? These feelings of fear and doubt are not punishments or signs of failure. They are invitations to draw nearer to me, to discover a peace that surpasses all human understanding. Each anxious beat of your heart is a call to surrender, a chance to exchange your worries for my steadfast love. I am the gentle whisper beneath the roar of your fears, the calm center in the midst of your anxious storms. When you feel lost or overwhelmed, remember that I am your refuge and strength, always ready to shelter you beneath my wings. Imagine, beloved, a vast ocean on a stormy night. The waves crash and roar, and the winds howl like they will never cease. You may feel tossed and battered, your small boat fragile and helpless against the fury around it. But I am the lighthouse on the rocky cliff, unwavering, a beacon of hope and safety. Your eyes may strain to find me through the darkness, but I have never moved, never dimmed. Let your heart seek me with the courage of a sailor, guided by the steadfast glow of a faithful light. Rest in my presence, even when the storms rage, for your safety lies not in the calm seas, but in my unchanging love. Fear and doubt often breed loneliness, a heavy sense that no one sees or understands the depth of your struggle. My dear, I want you to hear this clearly. You are never unseen, even when shadows press close and voices within tell you that you must endure these battles alone. I'm whispering your name, reminding you that you belong. There's a sacred intimacy I offer, beyond all human understanding, where your heart's cry is met with compassion, your brokenness is embraced, and your silent prayers are cherished. You are my beloved, never isolated, always enveloped in my loving arms. I want to encourage you to bring these fears into the quiet sanctuary of your soul, where I dwell. Do not push them away or pretend they do not exist, for that only gives them more power. Instead, tell me your doubts, your worries, your sleepless nights. There is power in transparency before me. Your trembling, your questioning, your longing to understand. All these are welcome in my presence. Here, you can lay down the burden of self-reliance and find strength in surrender. Surrender is not defeat. It is the most courageous act of trusting me to carry what you cannot bear alone. My child, do you realize how much strength lies in your small, faithful steps toward me despite the fear? Even when your heart quakes, your choice to hold on to me honors my heart and builds your spiritual resilience. Have you ever noticed how a tree's roots grow stronger when it withstands fierce winds? So too, your faith deepens as you face these inner tempests, not by fleeing, but by anchoring yourself in me. Each moment of trust births a new measure of courage. When you feel doubt, let it be the beginning of your reaching for me, not the end. Hear me when I say that fear and doubt are not the end points of your journey, but crossroads where transformation occurs. There is a refining fire in these challenging places, a purifying light that burns off the shadows hiding your true identity. I am shaping you into one who walks not by sight, but by faith, not by the shifting sands of emotion, but by the firm rock of my promises. Await patiently for me in the midst of your anxieties. I'm crafting a new confidence in your spirit, teaching you to lean not on human understanding, but on the revelation of my love. Sometimes, beloved, the silence that surrounds you feels unbearable. Perhaps you wonder why I'm quiet, why the relief you long for doesn't come immediately. But the silence is my sacred space for you to hear. The still small voice that speaks deep within. It is in these quiet moments that I beckon you to rest, to learn the rhythm of my heart, even when the noise of the world screams relentlessly. Trust that even in silence, my love flows to you like a gentle river, shaping valleys of your soul, smoothing jagged edges, preparing you for the fullness of joy I have promised. I am training your eyes to see beyond the present fears, to glimpse the tapestry I weave with your life, where every thread, every anxious moment woven by your trembling hands, is folded into a masterpiece of grace and beauty. Your journey through fear and doubt is not wasted. It is the soil in which your faith is rooted, the dark earth that nourishes the seed of a brave and trusting heart. Let this truth settle in you, that no fear is stronger than the love that surrounds you. No doubt, deeper than the well of hope I pour into your very being. As you wrestle with these feelings, remember the eternal truth. You are not defined by your fears, nor are you condemned by your doubts. You are defined by my blood, my covenant, and my unwavering commitment to carry you. When anxiety threatens to blind you, look up and remember the unwavering gaze of your Father, who watches over you with tender, relentless love. Do not let your heart be ruled by the shadows when you can choose to embrace the light I offer you freely. Take a moment now, my child, and breathe deeply into my peace. Feel my presence as a balm to your weary spirit. Lay before me all your fears and doubts, and as you do, embrace the truth that I am here, constant and unchanging. Will you choose to believe me this time? Will you rest in my love and step forward in faith, even when the path is unclear? Know that every step you take toward me in the valley of fear draws you closer to the radiant dawn of my peace. Trust me, beloved. I have not forsaken you. I have not turned away. I am holding you, even when the shadows seem relentless. Draw near to me, and let my love be the stillness in your storm, the anchor in your uncertainty, the song in your silence. Your courage is growing, your faith is deepening, and in time, your heart will beat with a confidence that fear and doubt cannot touch. Let this be your prayer today. Lord, when I am afraid, help me to trust you more. When anxiety storms in, remind me that you are my refuge and strength. When doubt whispers lies, let me hear your voice of truth and love. My dear, I'm listening. I'm with you. Let your heart rest in my embrace and allow me to carry what you cannot carry alone. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Come closer and let my peace wash over you. My beloved, in the quiet moments when the world feels still and your heart feels restless, I am there, ever close, beckoning you into the sacred space of intimacy with me. Too often, my child, you rush through life, pursuing dreams and burdens, yet miss the precious invitation to draw near to me and be truly known. Intimacy with me is not a distant goal or an ethereal ideal. It is the very breath of your soul, the source from which peace flows and strength is renewed. When you embrace this closeness, you will begin to see your life through my eyes, filled with meaning, beyond your understanding. Consider the way a child rests upon the breast of their mother, heartbeats sinking, warmth enveloping them in a shelter of safety and love. That is the kind of closeness I offer you, a sanctuary where your fears dissolve like morning mist and your worries quiet before my steadfast presence. I am not a distant observer, but the ever-present keeper of your heart, longing for your trust and your openness. In this sacred union, nothing is hidden. Your struggles, your doubts, your joys all find a resting place within my embrace. Let this truth settle deeply in you. You are never alone, and you are profoundly loved just as you are. There may be seasons when you feel my silence, or when the noise of the world drowns out my whisper. Do not mistake these times for abandonment. They are strange and mysterious gardens where intimacy is refined and deepened. I am shaping you into a vessel that can hold more of my love, more of my truth, more of my presence. It is in waiting, in stillness, that your spirit learns to recognize my voice, not just in thunderous miracles, but in the soft, tender sighs of grace. Will you believe me this time when I say that my timing is perfect, even when it feels hidden or delayed? It is through prayer, through honest and heartfelt conversation with me, that you build the bridge to this intimate connection. Remove the barriers of pretense, of striving to appear acceptable or worthy before me. For in your vulnerability lies true strength. Speak to me as you would to your closest confidant, for indeed, you are cherished beyond measure. This sacred dialogue nurtures your soul and cultivates a garden of peace within you where doubts and fears cannot take root. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Seek me earnestly and find rest for your weary spirit. Remember the image of the vine and the branches, how one cannot bear fruit apart from the other. Without me, you are like a branch severed from its source, lifeless, without purpose, struggling to survive. But when you stay connected, when you willingly abide in my love and presence, life flows through you abundantly. Your roots grow deep in my goodness, and your soul blossoms with the fragrance of joy and grace. This intimate relationship sustains you through every storm, every trial, each moment of uncertainty. My dear, you were created for this living union with me, to share in my heart and to reflect my glory in the world. In this closeness, I reveal to you your true identity, not by your achievements or failures, but as my beloved child, precious and irreplaceable. There is no seventh heaven, no distant throne beyond reach. My throne is where your heart is surrendered, where trust and love reside together. The space of intimacy is where your soul finds its home, and in that home, you are fully seen, fully accepted, and infinitely cherished. Allow me to heal the places where disappointment or self-doubt have crept in, for my love knows no bounds, and my grace covers every imperfection. You may wonder how to nurture this intimacy when your days are filled with endless demands and distractions. It begins with a single step, a moment of stillness, a whispered prayer, a pause to simply listen. I'm there in that moment, ready to meet you with tender eyes and open arms. Make room for me in your daily rhythm, allowing my presence to intertwine with your every thought and action. As you do, you will discover that intimacy does not require grand gestures, but a heart willing to be present, and a spirit eager to receive my love anew each day. Beloved, know that every tear you shed in my presence waters the soil of your soul, preparing it for a harvest of peace and joy. Each time you surrender your worries and fears into my hands, you create space for my peace to flood your heart. Intimacy with me transforms fear into courage, loneliness into companionship, and confusion into clarity. It is the refuge where your spirit finds strength and your weary heart is restored. If you sense my invitation stirring within you now, will you respond? Will you come to me with the simple longing to be known and loved? Take my hand, my dear child, and walk this path of intimacy with me, not as a distant ruler, but as the loving companion who understands your every need and longs to fill you with his peace. Let our hearts beat together in harmony, and let the light of my love illuminate the darkest corners of your soul. This is where your life unfolds into its fullest expression, not through your own strength, but through the power of our union. Here lies the source of enduring hope and unshakable joy. In me, you find not just a God who reigns above, but a Savior who dwells within, whose love never fades and whose faithfulness knows no end. Come close, beloved. Rest in me. Let this moment mark the beginning of a deeper, more profound intimacy that outlasts the noise and trials of the world. You are mine, and I am yours. A bond eternal, a love unbreakable. Will you make room for me within, starting now? My beloved, know that in the silent whisper of your longing, I am present, weaving a tapestry of purpose and calling around your life with tender certainty. There are moments when your spirit feels adrift, like a lone sailboat on a vast and uncharted sea, buffeted by unseen currents and stormy skies. Yet, I am the wind that fills your sails, the steady hand that guides your rudder. Your purpose is not a distant mountain unattainable, but a path illuminated step by step beneath your feet, even when the night disguises the trail. I see the stirring within you, that restless ache, the deep hunger for meaning beyond the ordinary. This is not a battle to be fought alone, nor a secret to be uncovered by effort alone. It is a sacred dance between your willingness to follow and my unfolding plan. Sometimes, my dear, this plan feels wrapped in mystery and delay, and you may wonder if your steps even matter. Let me assure you, every breath you draw, every sorrow you endure, every joy you embrace, is a stitch in the grand design I am weaving. Your life's calling is not measured by spectacular achievements, but by faithfulness in the small moments where your heart echoes my love. Consider the mustard seed, so small, yet containing within it the secret to a mighty tree that will shelter many. So it is with your purpose. It begins in hidden places, often unnoticed even by you. I have planted it deeply in your soul. Sometimes, child, you must pass through seasons of waiting and preparation. These seasons are not void of meaning. In the soil of obscurity and quiet, your character is formed, your gifts refined, and your faith deepened. Resist the temptation to compare your journey to others, for your path is uniquely ours, a sacred duet between your heart and my voice. The fear of failing to fulfill your destiny can be overwhelming, yet I invite you to surrender this burden to me. Just as a skilled potter molds and shapes the clay with care, so do I shape your life with patience and purpose. You are not a reject, nor a forgotten child cast aside in the messiness of life. You are my treasured possession, chosen and called out for a special assignment that only you can fulfill. Even when you falter, my mercy embraces you, lifting you beyond despair and into renewed strength. My dear child, the clarity you seek may not come all at once, but as a gentle unveiling, like a dawn breaking slowly over the horizon, painting the sky with hues of hope and promise. Trust that I know your potential fully, far better than you know it yourself. The whispers of discouragement or doubt are but shadows to be dispelled by the light of my spirit within you. When you feel lost in confusion or uncertain about the next step, come to me in stillness. Let your heart be open to my guidance, and I will illuminate your way with unmistakable peace. I am not distant in your pursuit, nor detached from the drama of your dreams. I inhabit your heart's deepest desires and celebrate your successes, even in the quiet moments where no one else watches. Your purpose is significant in my eyes because you are significant to me. Your life is a sacred story written with divine ink, a reflection of my love poured into creation. You are a beacon meant to shine in darkness, a conduit of grace shining brighter than the stars above. Pause now, beloved, and listen. Let your soul rest in the truth that your calling is a gift an invitation to walk in harmony with me? Will you take the risk, to trust the process, to embrace the twists and turns, and to hold fast to the assurance that you were made for more than what you see? Your purpose is not just about what you do, but about becoming the person I have destined you to be, a vessel of love, strength, and unwavering hope. I urge you to release the pressure that weighs upon your shoulders. Lay down the need for immediate answers and surrender to the unfolding of my perfect timing. In the quiet preparation, your spirit is being armed with the tools needed for the journey ahead. Remember, the oak tree does not become mighty overnight. It grows slowly, rooted deeply, withstanding many storms. So too, your calling is developing in ways you cannot yet perceive. If uncertainty or fear tries to convince you that you are inadequate, remember my words of encouragement deep within your spirit. You are equipped by my grace, sustained by my spirit, and called to walk boldly with the assurance that I am your strength. Even when the path seems unclear, trust that I am leading you into spaces of greater fulfillment and joy. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are navigating a divinely orchestrated journey with me by your side. My dear, embrace this season as fertile ground for growth. Let the questions in your heart be prayers lifted in trust. In those moments of quiet surrender, I speak most clearly, filling your soul with hope and renewing your vision. Your purpose is alive within you, and I will continue to nurture it faithfully until you step fully into all that you were created to be. As you reflect on this message, take a moment to ask yourself, what small step of faith can you take today to move closer to the calling I have placed in your heart? Let this truth settle in you. Your life is a sacred mission, and I am with you every step of the way. Allow my peace to be your compass as you navigate the unknown, and hold on to the certainty that your purpose is a precious gift waiting to flourish in its appointed time. My beloved, the journey you have walked, the paths of quiet longing and restless searching have not been hidden from me. In the stillness of your heart, where shadows have sometimes clung tightly, I have been present, always near, a light ever burning, a steady hand ever ready to guide you home. Now is the time to come fully into the warmth of my embrace, to know with certainty that you belong, not to the world's fleeting judgments, not to the shifting sands of circumstance, but to me, your Creator, your refuge, your Redeemer. Within you, my dear, there is a spark, an eternal flame that no storm can extinguish. This flame is the essence of your spirit, woven with my breath, anchored in my boundless love. It is a light I planted deep within you before the foundations of the earth were laid, a light I keep alive regardless of the doubts you have carried or the wounds you have borne. When you feel lost, when the weight of hurt and confusion threatens to overwhelm you, remember that this spark is your true identity, your divine signature, the proof of our unbreakable connection. I see the scars you hide, dear child, the moments when you felt forsaken, overlooked, or rejected. But hear my voice now. Those scars have not defined you. They have not lessened your value. Rather, they reveal the terrain you have crossed, the battles you have survived through my sustaining power. Every tear you have shed has been gathered and treasured, every sigh heard and held. Your history does not dictate your destiny because I'm a God of restoration and new beginnings. You are not the sum of your brokenness, but the sum of my mercy and grace at work within you. I'm calling you out of the wilderness of silent suffering into the fullness of my presence. Let go of the burdens you have carried alone. Trust in my strength to carry you, for my yoke is gentle and my burden light. The place you have longed for, that inner peace, that deep belonging, already exists within you because I dwell there, inside your heart. Do not shrink back fearful or skeptical. Step into the joy I have prepared for you, beyond the horizon of your current pain. Your identity is not found in the approval of others, nor in the fleeting thrills or false promises of this world. Your worth is immeasurable because you are my sacred creation, my beloved masterpiece. I knew you before the mountains rose and understand you more intimately than you understand yourself. When the world tells you to doubt, to question your significance, I urge you to look up and remember, you are mine. You carry my name. You share my spirit. There is no place in all creation where you are alone, for my spirit whispers continually, I am with you always. Now, beloved, I prompt you to take a moment and breathe deeply of this truth. Let it saturate your mind, infuse your soul, and settle deep within. Allow yourself to feel the profound security of being a cherished child, fearlessly and eternally loved. Cast off the chains of shame, the voices of condemnation, the layers of fear that have dimmed your vision of who you truly are. Stand tall in the light of your divine calling, a radiant bearer of hope, a beacon in dark places. Know that I'm with you not only in the bright moments, but in those dark, silent stretches when it feels as though you are utterly alone. My presence does not waver, it is steadfast as the ancient hills. Like a shepherd tenderly leading his flock, I guide you through valleys shadowed by despair, and I lead you beside quiet waters of rest. My love is the fortress that shields you, the refuge you can always reach. Rest in this refuge now, my dear child. Allow your heart to be renewed and your spirit restored. You are not here by accident or chance. Your purpose is etched on your soul by my hand. I have destined you for a journey that, though challenging, is infused with meaning and glory. Every step you have taken, even the faltering ones, has prepared you for the unfolding of the plan I have long dreamed for your life. Trust in this plan, even when you cannot see it clearly. The tapestry of your days is intricate and beautiful, woven with threads of grace that only I can see in full. With every sunrise that touches your face, with every heartbeat that marks your presence here on earth, my promise remains. You will never be forsaken. I am your portion, your shield, your delight. I am the voice that whispers hope into your soul, and the peace that surpasses all understanding. Come to me now, my child. Walk forward drenched in the certainty that you are deeply, irrevocably loved. This love is not just for the good days, but for every tear and every breath that comes with being human. Let this truth anchor you through every trial and triumph. Rise with boldness and confidence, knowing I have equipped you with every spiritual resource you need to live out your destiny. You are beloved beyond measure, called with a heavenly purpose that no enemy can thwart. Your story is holy, your life sacred, your name inscribed in the book of life. Beloved, will you believe me now? Will you receive this love that never fails, this peace that never fades? Come as you are, with all your imperfections and wonders alike. Let us walk this path together, hand in hand, heart to heart, forever united in my unfailing grace. Amen. If your spirit is moved by this message, share it with a fellow traveler who needs to know they are deeply loved. Keep it close. Return to it when your courage falters, and know that each time you do, you draw nearer to my heart.